My name is Emily Carter, and I've always had a thing for machines, the way they hum, the puzzle of fixing what's broken, the thrill of bringing something back to life. Growing up in the sun-baked outskirts of Bakersfield, California, where the oil fields stretch out like veins in the earth and the Sierra Nevada mountains loom in the distance, I spent my childhood tinkering in Dad's old garage. While other kids chased dreams of Hollywood stardom or tech startups in Silicon Valley, I was elbow-deep in engine blocks, learning the rhythm of a V8 from my father, who ran a small auto repair shop off Highway 58. The scent of motor oil and hot metal was my perfume, and I loved every minute of it. But to my mom's side of the family, especially my Aunt Victoria, Vicky to her country club crowd in Palm Springs, I was just the family disappointment. Emily's got oil under her nails again. She'd crow at every barbecue or holiday gathering, holding up my hands like they were Exhibit A in a trial for bad life choices. Her kids, my cousins, Alex heading to Stanford for business, Sophia nailing her pre-med at UCLA, and Tyler clerking for a big-shot LA law firm, were the golden ones. They were destined for boardrooms and white coats, while I was the cautionary tale, the girl who'd end up stuck in the dirt of manual labor. Mom tried to stick up for me early on. She's got a gift for figuring things out, she'd say. But even she winced when I begged for a torque wrench set for my 12th birthday instead of the designer purse Vicky suggested. The comparisons never let up. At family reunions in Vicky's sprawling desert estate, with its infinity pool overlooking the Coachella Valley, she'd parade her kids' achievements like trophies. Sophia's interning at Cedars-Sinai, saving lives. You know. And Emily, still playing with cars. The laughter from the aunts and uncles stung, but I swallowed it, focusing on the satisfaction of rebuilding my first carburetor at 14. By high school, I was diagnosing transmission issues by ear alone. I saved up from odd jobs at Dad's shop to buy junkers off Craigslist, fix them up, and flip them for profit. That cash funded my associates in automotive technology at Bakersfield College, then a bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, not Ivy League, but perfect for what I dreamed of. While my cousins buried themselves in textbooks, I was in the university labs, interning with teams that tuned engines for off-road races in the Mojave Desert.
I graduated magna cum laude.
My thesis on hybrid performance systems earning nods from industry pros. But at my graduation party back home, all Vicky could talk about was Sophia's acceptance to Johns Hopkins for med school. At least Emily got a degree, Grandma said, trying to throw me a bone. Sure, Vicky replied, sipping her mimosa. But what's she gonna do with it? Pump gas at a Chevron station. The table fell silent. I stared at my plate, cheeks flaming, while Dad squeezed my shoulder. He got it. His shop had been his life until a bad back forced him to retire early. But he was too laid back to rock the boat. I've got plans, I muttered. Vicky's laugh was like shattering glass. We all do.
Sweetie.
Reality hits different. That night, I pored over my business plan, a high-end auto performance center targeting the wealthy tech execs and celebrities flooding into Southern California, with their Porsches and Teslas needing custom tweaks and restorations. Not your average tire rotation, think carbon fiber mods, electric conversions, and full rebuilds that turned rides into rolling art. I'd crunched the numbers. Market research showed demand exploding in places like Palm Desert and LA. But after that dinner, I decided to keep quiet. Let them think I was floundering. Engines don't brag, they perform. And I was gearing up for the long haul. The turning point came at Sophia's engagement party at Vicky's Palm Springs villa. All string lights and catered sushi under the stars. I dragged my boyfriend, Jake Ramirez, along. He was a fellow engineer I'd met at Cal Poly, sharp as a tack with a knack for optimizing supercar suspensions. We'd been dating a year, and he shared my vision for the business. I was chatting with a semi-decent cousin when Vicky's voice cut through the night air. "Oh, Emily's dating a mechanic now. Figures like attracts like." "Right?" The group around her chuckled. My stomach twisted. Jake was across the patio, talking shop with Dad about electric drivetrains. He heard it too, his jaw tightened. Vicky kept going. At least she found someone who can fix her beater car.
Though.
Standards. Emily? What's next? A tow truck driver. More laughs. I set down my drink, hands shaking. Jake caught my eye and shook his head. Not worth it. Emily. Dear.
Vicky spotted me.
Come tell us about your
friend.
What's his name?
Juan?
Jake, I said, voice steady. And he's a lead engineer specializing in high-performance vehicles. She waved it off. Tomato.
Tomato.
Still getting greasy. Isn't he? I worry about your future. Blue-collar flings are fun. But marriage? Kids? Imagine pulling up to the club with a hubby who smells like exhaust. Jake appeared then, calm as ever. Actually, modern shops are pretty high-tech, cleaner than most offices. He extended a hand. Jake Ramirez. Vicky shook it reluctantly, her eyes narrowing at his spotless grip. Ramirez, how?
Diverse.
The microaggression landed like a slap. Jake smiled thinly. Family's been in California since the gold rush, before it was even a state. Vicky blinked, flustered. We excused ourselves soon after. Her parting shot. Say hi to your little garage for me. In the car. Cruising down Interstate 10 under the desert stars. Jake broke the silence. Tomorrow's the big day, signing on that new facility in Indio.
He grinned.
Think Vicky'd like a spot on our no-fly list? I laughed, tension easing.
Nah.
When we make it, I want her to see it every time she drives to her spa days. The long game. She had no clue what we were building, an empire in the heart of California's car culture. Our little garage started small, a leased bay in Bakersfield. Me and Jake pulling double shifts, servicing everything from daily drivers to the occasional luxury import. But we hustled smart, networking at car shows in LA, landing contracts with off-road enthusiasts in the desert. Within 2 years, we'd expanded to a full shop, hiring techs fresh from trade schools. I handled the business side, permits from the California Bureau of Automotive Repair, ensuring we met all emission standards under CARB regs, no shortcuts. Everything by the book to avoid fines or shutdowns. Vicky and the family? They stayed in their bubble. At Thanksgiving in Palm Springs, I showed up in my new Ford F-150, practical for hauling parts. Vicky quipped, leasing to look successful? When I said I'd bought it cash, she scoffed. Must be those installment plans. I mentioned our growing client list, including a few Hollywood types with vintage Mustangs. Cute hobby, she said, steering talk to Tyler's big case at his LA firm. Real success. You know, billable hours. Jake bore the worst of it. They called him Emily's helper, or that guy. When he mentioned his engineering creds, Vicky said, community college these days? Impressive.
Calpuli.
Actually, summa cum laude.
Oh.
Then she pivoted to Sophia's hospital promotion. After, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. Why don't you push back? They don't listen.
Mom.
They see what they want. She sighed. To them, success is suits and degrees, not wrenches. My hands were clean now. I managed ops, not grunt work. But it didn't matter. That night, Jake and I debriefed over craft beers in our tiny apartment. Kills me, they think you're scraping by. but we cleared $800,000 last year. More than Tyler brags about, I said. He nodded.
Latching.
While they're judging, we're scaling. An email pinged, a venture capitalist from Silicon Valley interested in our model, franchising eco-friendly performance shops across the West. Bigger than our plans. When they see, Jake said, it won't be us yelling. It'll be undeniable. The invitation to Vicky's new wellness retreat opening in Joshua Tree arrived like a summons. Fancy linen paper. Her note. Emily?
Come celebrate?
Dress nice, no shop clothes. I almost failed. But family ties pulled. A week before, she called. My Range Rover's rattling. Dealerships booked solid. Bring it to EC Performance in Indio, I said. EC?
Your.
Spot. Amused. We're off the 10, next to that fancy new build you probably pass. That modern thing? Impressive. Whoever owns it. She dropped it off next day. Eyeing our modest front, we were mid-expansion. What's the family rate? Diagnosis-free. Works market. She huffed but left it. Jake fixed a loose suspension bushing, simple. But we charged fair. Picking it up. She said, not bad for a small-timer. I smiled. She had no idea the fancy build next door was ours, our new $15 million headquarters. Funded by investors after our revenue hit $5 million. Family dinners dragged on. At Christmas, Vicky mocked our niche as fancy tire swaps. I bit back mentions of our Tesla retrofit contracts. Dad pulled me aside. They're blind.
Kid.
Focus on you. He was right. We were thriving, 20 employees. Certifications for electric vehicles under California's strict laws. Even consulting for desert rally teams. But to them, I was still the grease monkey. Then came the breakthrough. A partnership with a major EV startup in LA. Converting classics to electric. Revenue doubled. We broke ground on the Indio HQ, a sleek, solar-powered facility with showrooms for restored exotics. Vicky drove past it daily on her way to Palm Springs. Clueless. Sophia's baby shower was the last straw. Vicky. Mid-toast. Emily's still in her phase. Bless her heart. Laughter. Jake. Beside me. Whispered. Soon. That night, we celebrated privately. Our first 7-figure profit share. To the long game, I toasted. Months later, the grand opening loomed. Invites went to clients, local bigwigs, even the governor's office. Thanks to our green initiatives aligning with California's climate goals. Family, radio silence from me. Let success whisper. The day before the ribbon cutting, Vicky called again. David's old Porsche is acting up, grinding gears. Her husband, a retired banker, babied that 911. Bring it in, I said. She arrived at our temp space, still oblivious to the massive build next door. This place is quaint. Jake diagnosed a clutch issue, pricey fix. But we quoted fair. Per California consumer protection laws. She balked at the cost. Family discount. 10%, I offered. She paid. Grumbling, but drove off smooth. Opening day dawned bright over the desert. Palm trees swaying. Mountains crisp against the sky. The HQ gleamed. Glass facade. EV charging stations. A rooftop solar array powering the whole thing. Brass letters spelled EC Performance above the entrance. Inside. Marble floors. A lounge with espresso machines. And bays humming with techs working on Lamborghinis and Rivians. Reporters from LA Times and local outlets milled about, snapping pics of our restored classics on display. I spotted Vicky pulling up in her fixed Range Rover.
Plotting her Louis Vuitton bag.
Here for the big reveal she'd heard about through club gossip. She froze in the lobby, staring at the plaque, founded by Emily Carter. Her bag slipped. She caught it just in time. Emily. This is yours. Her voice cracked as flashbulbs popped around me, cutting the ribbon. I nodded, microphone in hand. Welcome to EC Performance, where we turn visions into velocity. Cheers erupted. Vicky approached post-ceremony, eyes wide at the framed photos. Our team at the Baja 1000, me shaking hands with Tesla execs. All this time, I thought you were just fixing flats. I finished. You assumed. Never asked. She flinched. The prestige, the contracts. Do you know what this could mean for connections? Years of grind, I said. Rejected by banks who doubted a woman in autos. Sleeping on cots to afford tools. But we built it clean, compliant, every cert, every law. A state senator pulled me aside for a chat about our apprenticeship program, training underserved youth in green tech. Vicky lingered, watching. Your mom never said.
She tried.
You laughed. Memory dawned on her face, last Easter. Mom bragging about a celeb client, Vicky dismissing it as tinkering with toys. As the party wound down, Jake found her staring at our EV conversion display. Mrs.
Hayes.
Let me escort you out. And that Porsche? We can slot it in. She nodded numbly.
Outside.
He mentioned our junior tech's bonus bought Ferrari.
He
works here? Disbelief. Back inside. Jake whispered. She asked to keep repairs discreet. Doesn't want family knowing she needed us. I chuckled. Give her our press kit. Better than confrontation. Quiet realization. 2 days later. Text flooded. Sophia. Wall Street Journal article on you real? Tyler. Baja contracts? Why hide? Mom called. They're buzzing. Vicky spilled about the building. It's been real for years. Mom.
Pause. I'm proud.
Always was. But I stopped fighting. Now they care? Bitterness crept in. Success changes tunes. Invites poured in, family dinners. Reconnections. I declined most. Focusing on ops, expanding to Vegas, navigating Nevada's regs for cross-state franchising. Vicky booked her hubby's Porsche at premium rate, touting our family tie to friends. Audacious. But it signaled shift. A reporter from California Business Journal interviewed me. Family dynamics and success? Mine weren't involved. Traditional views clashed with my path. She mentioned Vicky's club brag. She's always known Emily's potential. I smiled. Memories evolve with headlines. Advice? Build anyway. Validation comes from within. 6 months post-opening. I stood on our HQ's rooftop. Coachella Valley sprawling below. Wind turbines spinning in the distance, a nod to our sustainable focus. Revenue hit $15 million. We employed 50. With programs for vets learning EV tech, compliant with federal labor laws. Jake showed an email, Monaco Auto Summit extending my keynote. Pre-edge tripled. Family persisted. Vicky wanted our space for her retreat's anniversary, exotics on display for family prestige. I approved at full rate. No freebies, business first. We stood in silence. City lights flickering. Best part? I don't care about their approval anymore. When, between Baja wins and forgetting Vicky's jabs, Jake's tone shifted. Rivian offered me lead engineer, tripled salary. My heart sank. And turned it down. We're partners in this. He knelt. Ring box open, a sleek band with a desert-inspired diamond. Emily Carter. Marry me? Tears welled. Yes. Precise fit. Like our builds. We planned small. Vows in the Mojave. Party in the showroom amid restored rides. Invited team.
Client.
Mentors, chosen family. Bio family? They'd see the announcement in society pages. Vicky sent a card. Knew you were destined.
Congrats.
I kept it as a memento, not grudge, but growth. A year on, our wedding featured in Desert Magazine. Desert Auto Duo ties not in style. Focus on our circle, not blood ties. Vicky hosted a family celebration. We skipped, polite decline. Instead, we honeymooned in Baja, racing prototypes. Back home, expansion hummed. Vegas site open. Strict adherence to Gaming Commission proximity rules. No shop near casinos. Vicky called for a favor. Club friends McLaren. Priority. Waitlists 3 months. She paid expedited. Shifted dynamic. But earned. Reflecting, I saw the humanity. Vicky's snobbery stemmed from her insecurities, her spa chain struggling amid wellness trends. At a rare family lunch, she admitted, I was wrong. Pushed my kids hard because I feared failure. We all fear, I said. But dismissing dreams hurts.
Tears.
Teach me about your world? I invited her to tour. She came, asked questions, even tried a simulator. No instant fix, but a start. Cousins reached out genuinely, Sophia shadowing our medtech integrations for EVs. Tyler advising on contracts pro bono. Not revenge, reconciliation. Slow and real. 2 years later, EC Performance franchise to Arizona. Navigating water regs for desert ops. We launched scholarships for women in STEM. Partnering with California universities, tax deductible. Fully legal. Vicky's Spa rebranded with our eco tips. Crediting us. Family gatherings evolved. Less comparison. More curiosity. At Thanksgiving, Vicky raised a glass to Emily, showing us success has many engines. Laughter. Warm this time. Jake and I welcomed our first child, a girl, named after Dad. Vicky visited, bearing gifts, eyes soft. She'll have options: med school or mechanics. Whatever she dreams, I said. We'll support. Lesson landed. Family thrives on understanding, not judgment. Success isn't silencing doubters, it's inspiring growth. Vicky volunteered at our apprenticeships, sharing business wisdom. Cousins collaborated, Tyler on IP for our patents, Sophia on ergonomics for techs. One evening, rooftop again. Jake and I watched stars over the desert. Regrets?
None.
The path taught resilience. Our empire stood not as revenge, but testament. Pursue passion legally. Ethically, bridges mend with time. The brass letters gleam still. A beacon in the west. I drive past, grateful not for proving wrong, but right.
And in that,
a gentle lesson. Forgiveness fuels forward motion, like a well-tuned engine. Family, redefined, rolls alongside.